Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Anime Odyssey. It is that time of the month. Well, it's always that time of the month for Dermy, but it's that time of the month where we talk anime. And this month, it was my choice, Dermy's tag, and it bit him in the ass with his selection. That it happens. It happens. And well, you like getting bit in the ass. Let's admit that. You like it.
No, I like to eat. I like back tacos. Okay, I like to dine on the back taco. I don't like
you
my
like you like you like your you like your back taco dined. You do like your back.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's okay. Hey, don't be ashamed of your kinks. It's okay. Enjoy your habits. Enjoy your hobbies. It's okay. It's fine. Anyway, so we are here to talk some anime. Well, hey, whatever. I'm in that kind of mood today. Welcome, one of the only Anime Odyssey. We're happy to have you here. And if you're watching on the replay where we upload, we hope you enjoy the rest of the show. So let's go say hi to everybody. Hey, Dermy, card thrower Dermy. I'm glad you changed it from board because I'm glad you changed that.
I mean, let's be real. There were parts of the anime I liked. I was
just
it was so.
We'll get in.
I'll dragged.
it starts off very slow, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to defend myself when we get into this. So, how you doing? You okay?
I'm here. I had some bad news. I had to change some stuff around. So my interview with CJP is being pushed to the 12th of May because I have overtime this weekend and I have to be there at 1 a.m. So
Hey, you know what? Don't be ashamed. You got a real job. I do this.
yeah.
No, and I don't. I get paid very little for it right now. So at least you got money coming in. Anime Man, how are you this week?
Hello, 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 and greetings and salutations, all you anime-loving guys and gals out there. And hey, Adam, in a word, I have been busy. I've got writing projects that I've been working on, besides the usual hoopla at work.
Well, good to be busy. Good to be busy. And of course, we are once again without Jose, but Jose has not left the show. Jose just has a combination of internet problems and commuting problems with his current job. So he's really trying to figure out his YouTube work-life balance. But whenever he comes back, we're going to be happy to have Jose back. And of course, you never know when we may add somebody else to the roster. As for myself, I am doing okay. The channel is one sub away from 2,500. So if you have found your way here, or if you've been lurking, or if you have come to watch somebody else you haven't subscribed, why not put me over the edge at least for a minute before YouTube takes it away again? 2,500, help the channel grow. Your support will always be much appreciated. Hail howdy to the chat. How you guys doing? We hope you enjoy what we're going to talk about today. At least I'm going to enjoy it. No, JB, this is not Conan, and we're probably not going to see Conan for a while because, frankly, I'm not having fun playing Conan at the moment. It is becoming more of a chore than anything else. A lot of you might figure out why. Hail the Goddess. Legion is one of my mods, my regulars. Hail to Jaden Hamilton, who seems to have left us because he's at work, and that's a good man, good young man, making that scratch. They were having a conversation. This girl. Hail Kuroboro no Machu Aki. Welcome to the show. And anybody else just chilling out and watching, we're happy to have you. And as I said before, we hope you enjoy what's going to go on. All right, so Chihayafuru Season 1. This was, again, my choice of the show. Dermy's tag. Dermy said, choose something with sports. And he hoped that I would go anywhere but down the road I went. Well, actually, no, he hoped I wouldn't also. He also hoped, well, maybe he did hope I would choose free, but I wasn't going to choose free because I'm not into that shit.
No. My idea was very solid because I couldn't find a tag for like martial arts or, something like that. But I remembered that there was a martial arts anime and it had the tag sports. So it was like, you know what? I'm going to do this because all the other sports animes are boring and
gay.
What's to do with that?
And
boring and gay, super gay.
Super gay.
So I was like, so you know what? To get him here, to get him to pick like we were going over some of them Baki, Kengan Ashura match or something fun like that. That's a bunch of muscly dudes just beating the shit out of each other.
Jeremy wants to see muscly dudes.
And instead of doing any of that, we went down a road where we're watching people throw cards.
It's not. It's. I'm gonna defend myself.
I was trying to lead him down.
I'm going to defend myself in a minute. I'm going to defend myself. But I mean, here, let's be honest. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, look what I gave. Right, the first time you joined the show, your first episode, it was Anime Man's choice. I gave him Supernatural, and I thought he's going to choose something hot and crazy. There's dozens of supernatural anime out there where it's over the top power-ups and fighting this and that, and he chose goddamn ghost stories. So you should know, don't assume we're going to choose anything. And in Anime Man's defense, he'd never watched it. So he had no idea the can of worms he was opening on that episode. That's why I say, if you're going to choose something, have at least watched it once so you can defend yourself. Like I know I'm going to have to defend myself, at least to Derby. I don't know Anime Man's take right now. But Dermy's lukewarm on this. I'm going to be conservative. That you're lukewarm on this. You didn't hate it from our previous discussion. You're lukewarm.
I'm one round of microwave where I'm a frozen object that's been in the microwave for maybe 30 minutes. So I have that warmth, but I'm not de-thawed.
Yeah. Now again,
I might watch the rest, but
I'm gonna try and get you to watch the rest, just because I consider this a very chill anime. It's very heartwarming. It's wholesome, and I'll explain my reason. But Anime Man, I'm also going to assume you would never seen this one before.
You would be correct, sir. This was my first time watching it, and well, let me say this: the artwork and animation, it was beautiful. It was fantastic.
Yes.
The
Yes.
characters were absolutely relatable, and the insight into Japanese culture and history, that I liked. I'm very much into that sort of thing. I like learning about other cultures and such. Makes the world go round. My problem with this anime, I can sum up in 2 words: the pacing.
Yeah, it's not fast. It's not fast, especially in China. Now, I'm going to defend myself here. I'm going to defend myself. Let me just the lighting over here for 1 second here. Too bright. There we go. All right, listen. All right, so again, I have seen this before. I watched all 3 seasons last year, and I finished the manga last year as well, because Chihayafuru has 3 seasons of about between 60 and 70 episodes, and it ends at season 3 anime-wise, but then the manga continues forward. And as I had finished the anime last year, the manga was releasing its final chapter. So I got to power through and complete the story. That means there may one day be a season 4. I'd love to see that animated as well. But so I've seen and read and finished it, and I can give a complete opinion on it. But I'll try and keep most of my commentary centered on season 1 today. Now, when I chose this anime originally for myself last year, I was in a period of time where I just wanted something with a lot of episodes. I was looking for something with a lot of episodes that could keep me busy for a week or 2. And this is one of those. This is one of the ones that came up, and I saw it, and I saw the tags. I was about. I thought, well, this looks harmless. I also wanted harmless. I wanted something that was going to be nice and simple, not make me, I don't know a good word to put it, but not make me go crazy, and not make me feel like I'm missing something, or something was going to be left unsatisfied. So I put this in, and I'm going to admit this: the first 5 or 6 episodes, you have to crack that nut. It breaks the pattern of what I recommend. If something's boring you by 4 to 6 episodes, you give it up. The problem is those first 4 or 6 episodes, it's the backstory which gets you into the rest of it. So what is the show? This series is about we have 3 main characters. We have Chihaya Isa, Taichi Mashima, and Arata Wataya. They are our 3 main protagonists. They also form a love triangle. This also falls in category of romance. It's also a romance anime as it moves forward into the future seasons. It's based centered around the fact that when they were young, they all came together first as friends, and firstly Chihaya and Taichi around a card game called Karuta, and it's basically a Japanese card game which can be played competitively, where it's these hundreds of poems in Japan's history for their stories like that, and you memorize them, and based on syllables of that, you match them up and you can claim them. It's kind of like, it seems a combination of Uno or hearts and shit like that, but something like
bingo and form of bingo.
Well,
competitive card bingo.
It's a combination of a lot of different card games, or at least the concepts of a lot of games. But this is a real thing, like Anime Man alluded to. It's a real thing in Japan. And just to note, when this anime and manga started, there was an uptick of interest in Japan on Karuta when this happened. It really generated a spike in interest in it. People started looking into it. And when I was first reading the anime or watching the anime and reading the manga, I came across that fact. Now, what happens is that Chihaya, she becomes obsessed with it. It becomes her thing, all to the point of everything else is kind of just ignored. She doesn't make any other real friends. She doesn't even listen to her family. It's her obsession, except when she just wants to be better at it, have fun with it, and wants to show people how great and how much fun it is. And what happens is her childhood friend Taichi, he breaks away from her as they get older, and then they reconnect in high school, where she's trying to put the club together. And also, they're also the child of her Murata. He's the one that got them into it when they were kids. And his grandfather was some sort of basically the master. It's called the master, and the female. There's 2 top dogs in the Karuta world. There's the master, who's the top male player, and the queen, who's the top female player. And his grandfather was one of the greatest masters of all time, so he was really into it. He taught them to play. They all became friends. They had a great connection. But then Arata moved away, and everybody separated. But then but Karada in high school seems to bring them all back together, as Chihaya wants to. Chihaya, that's right. Chihaya wants to show everybody how great it is. She wants to make a club out of it, and she wants to compete competitively in the school tournaments, stuff like that, and the regional tournaments. And it's basically about bringing people together in camaraderie, believing in yourself. That's kind of the theme, one of the themes of this, teamwork, and finding that drive to not only be better, but to support other people and make and make connections. I mean, it's one of those types of anime connections. And by the time I hit the end of the first season, I was hooked, because in this first season, and one of the things I like about it, and looking at it from a critical, and analysis of this first season, they're losers in this first season. They're losers. They don't win. They don't win. And well, they don't win the big thing. They win a little bit individually, but they don't win the major tournament. And then Chihaya gets her ass kicked by Shinobu, Fat Shinobu, at the end of the season. She gets her ass kicked by regular Shinobu, but then they see Fat Shinobu. And either way, that's the whole thing. Point is, she gets her ass kicked by the current queen. It's what I like. It's a hero's journey. Underneath it all, it's a hero's journey for this group. They lose, and it makes it feel like Anime Man said, it feels relatable and real. So, and one of the things that make this work, and I'm going to turn it over to you guys now, is at least the characters. Dermy, how do you feel about this cast of characters?
You know, again, I don't really like the anime. I might continue watching it. The characters, for the most part, I enjoyed them. I really liked, not the kid with the glasses, the other one.
Taichi.
I liked him. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I should specify, because there's two kids with glasses. There's Taichi.
Well, there's the nerd later on that they bring in when Chihaya is building her club. She advertises to the school and brings in other people.
The two characters I gravitated towards the most were Desk Tomu, who I'm willing to bet that's not his real name, and the girl that wants to become the speaker. Those were the two.
Kimono chick with the big tits. Yeah, the kimono chick with the big tits.
Well, they massive tits, but those two characters I like the most.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Kamir Hanano.
I think so.
I don't. This is one of the animes where the names did not stick with me, so I have to keep going back to look.
I remember Desk.
Kanade.
Kanade.
She's the kimono chick who wants to be a reader and has really big tits. Now, so Anime Man. So Dermy, you like Taichi, or you like this Tomu, and you liked Taichi. Oh no.
Well, I like Taichi, Desnomu, and Big Tit McGee
and Kanade. Okay, Anime Man. How did you feel relating to these characters?
Well, believe it or not, I can actually relate with Chihaya some, because, well, let's just say I know what it's like to be overshadowed by an older family member. In this case, it was my brother. I always felt that he kind of overshadowed me. It eventually took moving in with my stepfather to help me realize that he doesn't need to overshadow me. I can be my own person. The other person I can relate to is Arata. Now, I admit I'm no psychiatrist or anything like that, but Arata's behavior, his social awkwardness, his hard time speaking to others, all signs of Asperger's syndrome.
I don't think he has Asperger's.
And the way he just focuses on stuff.
Well, I don't think he has Asperger's, because the farther you get in, he makes friends pretty easily as time goes on. It's his family life that steered him in that direction. And living in the and if you want to talk about living in the shadow, he lives in the shadow of his grandfather. That's who he lives in the shadow of.
Yeah, I could also relate to Arata, especially the beginning concerning his the way he felt about the death of his grandfather. I know how that goes because I lost my maternal grandfather in 2005, and it hit me pretty hard.
Well, that's part of the things that keeps. I mean, Arata is a genius at this game. He's one of those people that can be considered a genius at this. Chihaya is also a genius, but she's a different type of genius because one of the biggest things about this whole sport, and I say that just to tweak Jeremy, one of the things about this sport is that it's a sound thing. And it becomes a more important aspect the farther you get into the series. And Chihaya is one of those naturally gifted players who can hint at notes at even the slightest breath. She can hear something and she has the reflexes to choose the correct card. And that's her strength. And it grows and it evolves as the series goes on. But I'm just gonna push back. I don't think she lives in the shadow of her sister. Chihaya has a sister who's basically an idol of sorts. She's a model, not a full idol. She's a model half of it, and she's really famous. And her family focuses more on her sister than that. But Chihaya doesn't really resent her family over that. I don't feel like she resented them.
We're going off of season 1. There is a point where
I guess I'm
comes
conflating
home.
my seasons. That's a problem. I have to bring
That might be
in.
part of it because there's a point where she comes home. She's all excited because they got to go to nationals, but her sister comes in and they start focusing on her being on a game show and
I'm
failing.
being influenced by later on where her mom has a turn in about that. Where it flips, and her family does eventually coalesce around her in this. So that again, that I have to try and keep myself centered on season 1. I apologize for that. That again, that's the problem when you've seen it all. But Chihaya is. I like Chihaya. I think my favorites are Chihaya and Taichi are two of our main protagonists. Arata kind of pissed me off most of the time because for a large portion of the series, not just season, he is a bit of a dick in my opinion. He doesn't actively, his friends are reaching out to him and keeps pushing them away. One, because everybody's trying to understand their own feelings for it, because obviously it's a love triangle between Chihaya, Arata, and Taichi, where Chihaya is she takes on that classic protagonist, oblivious that everybody else finds her hot, because the fact she is drop dead gorgeous, but she's oblivious to it.
Well, the thing was she's drop dead gorgeous until you see her self talk.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's karate. But the thing is, she's a hottie who doesn't know she's a hottie. And she's completely oblivious to everything else. And she doesn't realize that these two guys eventually, even as young as when they were young, like her. And it takes a very long time to get that. So it's not even a part of the season 1 storyline, the romance aspect. It's not even a part of it. So that's why I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. But I like her for the fact that I like Chihaya because of her determination. She doesn't give up, but also she is a perfect example of a heroine, a female lead who is not perfect. Like Jeremy just said, the joke of the season is she's hot. Every guy wants to get up on her until she starts talking, because not that she's stupid, it's just she has one thing on her mind, and that's it. And there's no other that. But she's determined, but she's flawed. She works hard. She suffers defeats. In this season, she suffers many defeats. She passes out during the competition, and because she passes out, they have to forfeit one of her matches. And
they have to forfeit the team match.
Yeah,
they failed the team.
That was a serious oofer moment.
And she screws up, and she's devastated by it. But but because of the camaraderie, the connection she's built with her team by being there for them, they forgive her for it. They're not angry; they forgive her. And then she goes, and then of course, right away, then she goes into the match against Shinobu, and Shinobu just crushes her by the end of it. Because you're dealing with another person who has a different level of genius. And I'm not going to go too much into Shinobu on that, because you don't get her background until way later. Right now, all you know is that you don't get the full background. You don't get the full.
We get a decent bit at the very end, or second to last episode, when we learn about her family. She has to be good at something, and she connected really close to Karata,
Carno.
but her mom didn't want her to be a part of Karata, but she gravitated toward it.
Her grandmother saw the
We don't know. We don't know why.
Yeah,
We
that's
just
what
know
I'm
that
saying.
she gravitated.
You've got her. You see that she's powerful and that she's special, but you don't learn her special skill with it yet. Because all the best players in this, all the unique. Again, this anime has one of those classic anime things of if a character looks unique, they're special and they have abilities, and she has her own ability with it. Just like you met the guy at the end. Can't remember his name. The current master who everybody hates because of the way he behaves, his flippant attitude. He's got what Chihaya has, that super hearing. And he can hear 28 out of the syllables. He's insane that way.
We know something about the queen's ability is basically like she can find every card that she needs immediately.
Yeah,
that's all we know.
You don't know the detail.
They're connected to her.
Yeah, you haven't seen there's another backstory to that though. And you get that. I think it's in season 2 where you get that backstory. But all these, but if they look unique, they have it, and it's this is one of those anime where, for the first time, where I dealt with antagonists like Shinobu's. She's an antagonist, but she's not an evil antagonist. She's just the eventual pinnacle that Chihaya has to surpass in order to be successful.
Shinobu was a hottie until she got fat.
She gets skinny again. She loses the weight. She got upset.
Yeah. I will say this: what happened to Shinobu near the end of season 1, that's a prime cautionary tale in why overindulgence can lead to disastrous results.
Well, it wasn't overindulgence. It was she wanted to get that collectible, and she had to keep eating the ice cream to get it. That's what it was. She said, I needed that little Snow Maru. What it was, Snow Maru. I needed the Snow Maru toy, and she had to keep eating the ice cream to get it. And she got it, and she got fat. She does lose the weight though. She goes back to skinny Shinobu in season 2 and season 3 in the manga, the kind of finale part. But see, here's one thing I was saying. I don't hate the antagonists of it because all these antagonists have powerful backstories and they're not evil. There's no evil in this story. That's one of the things I liked about anime. There's no evil. There's just people. There's just a competition and people competing for their own reasons, and their reasons are legitimate. I mean, Dermy, you touched on it. Shinobu's private life. In order to be recognized by her family, she must be the best at this. Therefore, I don't hate her. And go ahead. You gonna say something?
No, I don't.
And then,
like you're saying, everybody has a reason.
Yeah.
Glasses Guy #1, who's expert. His reason is because of his grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a reason they're doing this.
Yeah. And Taichi does it because he realizes he wants to reconnect for something he's lost with his friends, and he wants to be a part of Chihaya's life. He doesn't realize that yet, but that's what he's doing it. But he's also looking for his own purpose in life too. That's why Taichi is my second favorite, because he's struggling between these worlds. He had his mother. Was it this season or the previous season where his mother is a real helicopter mom? And
we got some idea of that when
she's a bitch. She's a bitch on wheels.
Yeah.
Bitch on wheels. And
we saw a little bit. Not a lot.
There's a little more later on, but she's obsessed with him being powerful and successful, and Karada doesn't lead to that. She doesn't want him to do that. But he's doing it because he's trying to find something. I don't want to say meaning, but it's something close to meaning for his life. He's trying to do something of his own choosing, not because he's being told to do it or because he's the pretty boy. He's the athletic guy to be good at something. He's doing it because he wants to do it, and it just happens to be this. And throughout this, he becomes the captain of the team. Even though Chihaya is the ace, she's not a leader. He's a leader. And that's why I gravitate to the leader types. And that's why those two. I like everybody else. I like the rest of the original Karate Club team because it grows in season 2. They get some more team members on there. But I like them all because, again, they all have unique backstories that give them purpose. Kanade discovers she loves the poetry of it, and the what's a good word? The grace, the beauty of it, and hearing go ahead, Aaron, man.
That is something I can definitely relate to. Poetry and grace. Let's just say, being that I studied a lot of famous literature. I can understand and appreciate some of the classic works out there. The Iliad, the Canterbury Tales, etc., etc. The great works of history, and in this case, she appreciates the great works of Japan.
Yeah, and she suddenly realizes within this, she had just her mother owns a kimono shop, and that's kind of they're in for it because kimonos are a traditional garb to wear this. It allows for free form. They figure out the straps and all that stuff, and I like that. I like the intricacy of that all. It was fascinating to me, but then also she likes the grace of wearing the kimono and being a part of it. But then she hears the readers, and suddenly it gives her another drive. She wants to be a reader. Problem is, you can only qualify to be a reader if you're Class A. Now, the Karate League is divided in your basic alphabet system: A, B, C, D, E, and I think is there an S? I don't remember if there's an S. I don't remember. That might just be crazy gamer guy in me.
Through A.
I think it's A, but you have to be Class A in order to qualify. So now suddenly, by the end of the season, she's got a goal to be the Class A, and that means participating outside the regular competitions. It means going around doing stuff, and that's a lot of things we see them doing. Our characters discover that there's more to it than just the school competition. It gives them joy and pride in this, and that's what I liked about all the characters, that they have their own drives, and it's not just to win, but there's something about it that it fulfills a part of their need. Whether it's Chihaya, who just loves it outright, or Taichi, who's looking for something to ground him, something to himself, Arata, who's trying to reconnect to it, or Piggy, who just Piggy was interesting.
Yeah, aka Nashida.
Yeah, call me by my name.
Porky.
Porky. I can want to see. It depended on the translation I was listening to or reading. In the manga, she calls him Piggy and not Porky. So that's why I did that. Go ahead.
Even what you're saying, like everybody has a purpose. When you get to like that first team that seems like it's gonna give you a problem, like the first cast of like somewhat recurring characters, the guys in all the red shirts, when you go up against them, you're like, well, these are going to be the antagonists. And as you go forward, you're like, oh no, these are just everyday players that have goals and purposes as well.
Of their own.
They're not evil. They just act like dicks.
Yeah, they're just, but it's simply competitive. It's just the competition.
It's all just trash talk.
Yeah, and because they want to win, and there's nothing, and that's again why I like this. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win. And what I like about this is that in all this competition, nobody cheats. This is everybody's fair play. There's some intimidation factors, but that's fair play in sports. Intimidation is a big deal in sports, and in season 2, you get a lot more teams that have intimidation tactics that they use. But that's fair play. That's why I like it. It's just the competition, and it's reinforcing the idea it's okay to win and want to win. Not everybody gets a goddamn participation trophy. And when you win or lose in this, people who win and lose, they're crushed when they lose. Or they're elated when they win. And that's one of the reasons season 1 for me is a great place set for this whole thing, is because it sets the stage for our heroes, our hero club. They lost. And they lost because of screw-ups. They lost because Chihaya let them down, because she didn't. The pressure got to her. I mean, it's not. I don't think it. Yeah. She did. This isn't the season where she hurts her hand. It's next season where she hurts her hand. I mean, that's a whole thing. It's next season. She hurts her hand next season. It's ooh.
I would add this about season 1. You know, this reminds me of a song by the late great Aaliyah. If at first you don't succeed, you dust yourself off and try again.
What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Stand a little taller.
Stop. I will kick you out right now. I'll kick you out.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about. It's about when you get knocked down, you get up, you dust yourself off, and you keep going.
I
And that's
mean,
what
there's a,
that's what the main character does. That's what Chihaya does.
yeah,
She cries about the fact that she lost, but then she gets up, she dusts herself off, and says, "Okay, what can I do
Well,
better?"
and
it's
that's a
not
good thing. Go ahead.
it's not just about that she lost. She feels like she let everybody down. She
That
feels
too.
like she's not
That too.
achieving their goal, their expectations. But when they tell her no, that you're actually exceeding these expectations, it makes her feel better and wants her to go further.
Yeah. And then she right away then runs into the mountain that is Shinobu. She runs and realizes, wow, okay, I am still way beyond. I mean, that's one of the things that I had to comprehend, that this entire story takes place over about a 2 year period, just about a 1.5, 2 year
Mm,
period. No. I mean the entire story, the entire thing.
oh, the
From
entire
season,
story.
the entire story takes place over like a 1 to 2 year, between 1 and 2 year period, because it goes to when they're seniors in high school, because they're essentially in the way Japanese high school works. When you enter high school in Japan, you start off as a sophomore. It's sophomore, junior, senior. So they're all first years, or are they second years? Either way, it goes until they graduate, basically. And that means there's a limited amount of time with which they can compete like this. So there's the pressure of, we only have X amount of chances left to do this. And that
I think
builds.
I think you're right. It's about a year, 2 years and a half, because they start on their first year.
Yeah.
Because they didn't realize they were both the girl and good-looking dude. That's how I'm going to do this right now. Chihaya and Taichi didn't realize they were going to the same high school together.
Yeah.
And they were both like new first year. So this is their OG year.
Yeah.
In
Sophomores
season 1.
in our Western breakdown.
Adam, before we continue, I will say this: I've got a bit of a bone to pick with you.
Sure.
For choosing an anime that had such a frackin' long name. I had trouble remembering the name of it. The title of the show, it is a mouthful.
Yeah.
I copy and pasted it. That's how I got found
I
it.
honestly, I still can't spell it. I have to go back and make sure I've spelled it right every time. I'm not gonna deny that. It's just, it is what it is. But
I just realized the main character's name's in the name of the anime.
yes, and it that comes to fruition towards the end of the story. It's yeah, it's part of the story later on. That's what I'm saying. Watching them grow and succeed is what drove me. Because when I finished the first season, because I didn't go for season 2 until I finished the first season. I was like, okay, I finished this. Do I want to keep going? Yes, I do, because I want to see these kids win. They're working so hard. They're trying so hard. They have so many obstacles in front of them, especially at the end of the season, where the phys ed teacher's in charge of says, yeah, you need to get more members or we're kicking you out of your club room.
Oh, I really like the phys ed teacher. She grows on you.
She comes around to them. She becomes their biggest. In the end, she becomes their biggest supporter. And then she turns around.
As well as proves to be not everybody else might agree with this, but she proves to be the quintessential matriarch.
She's a strong one. And what happens is, and here's this thing. There's a great. What other thing I like about this is the idea of students and mentors. It's a great. This is one of those shows that really plays out with the doctor, who is their karate coach at his thing. This guy who just loves it so much and plays through. His knees are shot. He can't sit there, but he keeps playing through the pain. Because he wants to prove that his style is relevant. His style of karate is not antiquated. And they're so loyal to him. I love the loyalty aspect that they have to the doctor. I don't remember his full name. I remember called the doctor.
Well, there's also they all have loyalty to their teacher.
Yeah.
And they have 2 teachers, essentially. There's the doctor, and then there's the other school's kind of teacher that Porky goes to, Piggy, whoever we want to call him.
Yeah.
But he takes Big Boobs and Desk Tomu to them, and that's where they learn. And then when you get to one of the final matches for the qualifiers to go to Master or Queen, you have that whole dichotomy there where they're struggling because they want to cheer for their friend, but their teacher wants to cheer for her opponent.
Yeah.
So they're having issues there.
It's real. And that's why that's one of the strengths of this series for me is these characters feel real. And I care. This is one of those few times where I care about every single character on this roster as you go through. I care about their stories. I want to see them succeed. There are plenty of anime where I'll watch it where a third of our cast I could give two silly shits about because they bore me, they haven't gotten enough development, or they're just annoying as hell, or I hate them. I don't hate any of these characters. I enjoy them all. I'm happy for them all. I like seeing them take those small steps forwards. I when they're crushed by something, I get the feels. I'm crushed
Yay.
with them. Shut up, back taco man. I want them to get that win, and that's why I was excited and spurred on to go to season 2 after this, because I want to see them get those wins. And there's a satisfaction in watching, and then the way they play, the way it happens. Again, I slightly spoiled one thing, but it just works as a story. I feel like for me in this, there were no down moments for me because every character had something worthy. Every time it shifted the focus, I wasn't left wanting. I was interested in what was going on. And I had a good time, and that's why I recommend this one, because it's one of those anime where I think if you go all the way to the end, and then if you decide to finish with the manga until they maybe decide to do season 4, there is supreme satisfaction in how it all goes around, especially when eventually Arata does come back into the equation, not just being an outsider, not just hesitant to jump into it, when he finds his drive again and gets his game back on. And then that's a whole thing between him and Taichi. Again, that's future stuff. But I mean, again, one of the best ways, we've been spending half an hour talking about these characters because the characters are what drive this. They're what drive this. Now, again, the game itself, Kurata, I'm going to admit, I barely freaking understand it to this day. I only understand a little bit of it.
Cards.
Well, you knock cards. You have to knock the right syllable, but it has to be connected to the right part of the poem or the story. And it's a little it's still fascinating. This is the best way I can put it. I'm still drawn in. And when I was watching this, the reader intonations, again, fascinated me. I have no other word for it. And when you're reading the manga, when you go for the manga, if you've watched the anime enough, you hear it in your head. Na 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 na. It's what you don't like it. Okay.
I hated it. I hated it.
It drew me in.
The singing. It just, God, shut up. Just read the poem, please. Read the poem.
That's part of the
thing.
It. You have to sing it because it's the tone, the intonation, and that idea that all the readers have a different style and different intonations where they pronounce things, and you have to learn them to be able to get their cadence. I mean, I found it all fascinating because this is a completely foreign type of thing. Because when you say card game, I think freaking Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of shit, Magic. Fun. I think about that stuff, and I don't think about this. And this was something when I saw card game, like, oh, another card game anime, okay, but no, this is something that's totally different. And all right, so with a little bit of time left, Dermy, is there anything salvageable in this for you as the one on the panel who really is the lowest on this? I mean, Anime Man's a little bit higher than you. You guys are neither of you as high as I am on this, but is there anything salvageable that might get you to watch season 2?
I'm thinking about watching it. The problem is, and Anime Man said it, it's the pacing. I had to pull a Jed, and I think Jed's shown on Roundtable how he watches shows at multiple times speed that you can't understand anything. Watching it at 2 times speed still felt slow.
Really?
Yeah. That's how slow this anime was for me. It just wouldn't move, it felt. And when I'm dealing on 2 times speed, nothing's moving. It's drawing me away. It's telling me I shouldn't be here.
That's
and
fair.
I can watch I'm also not a huge slice of life fan.
See, I can be.
Good.
I can get all right. See, all right. This is also borderline slice of life. It is like because these are there are some times where I want serious downtime, and this is the type of show that just you can mellow out to, and you just let it happen, and you're not on the edge of your seat. And that's why I was drawn to, because I told you at the beginning of the show, when I chose this anime for myself last year to watch it for the first time, I was just looking for something with length, ladies. And I wanted something that would last a bunch of episodes that could keep me busy, because I just needed something to watch. And I was looking something I hadn't seen too. I wanted something I hadn't seen before. And this one popped out at me on multiple searches. And I said, fine, I'll get it. I'll watch it. And it's one of those things that I just found it fascinating. And it drew me in. I just had this chill about me when I watched it. And it was calming to me. And that's why the pace didn't bother me, because I was looking for something calm and not intense. So I'm going to say maybe
slice of life anime that I like, and
honestly,
it's Air Gear.
Air Gear was Air Gear wasn't slice of life. That was still a sport.
I'm trying to get to the closest to slice of life that I can, because I could say some of the down episodes in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood I really liked, when there's no action going on and they're just talking.
But it's usually character building as well, so it's not boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that perhaps I introduced you to this anime at the wrong time for you, maybe at a point where you're not looking to just have a complete chill out with an anime. Is that fair to say?
Well, no, because I like to chill out with an anime, but like when I chill out with an anime, I don't think you've seen this, but
I think I'm phrasing that. I think I'm phrasing that wrong. But go ahead.
One of my favorite animes right now that I'm waiting for season 3 is Kengan Ashura Annihilation Tournament, which it's on Netflix. It's a fantastic anime. It's one of the
Put in the private chat. Let me see if I've seen it before. Put in the private chat.
You probably haven't, but it's a CGI anime that actually looks good.
I don't like CGI anime.
It look the way
I'm
they
so
have it
off.
drawn
I'm
is
so off put.
beautiful.
There's only one CGI anime I ever liked, and that was what was it? Oh, it was the one where they were based on different stones. Oh, what was it called?
Based on different stones.
Like the bunch of characters, all these female characters are based on different precious stones, and they were like the only entities left, and they were fighting. What was it called? Oh shit! That was a CGI anime. That was the only time I really liked one, because again the story drew me in, and I was able to get used to it. I don't remember
similar to like Kengan Ashura, brutal anime, just gory to the max. And when I found, I was like, I just want an anime to chill out to, and that's the kind of stuff I'll chill out to. If I want something very deep and relaxing, I'll throw on something like.
All right, we're defining chill out differently then.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say chill out, I mean, okay, no, I've never seen this before.
It is a fun anime. I do suggest.
When I say chill out, I mean, I guess you're translating as just relax, and that's not what I mean. When I mean completely decompress, as in I want things to be slowed down. I don't want high octane. I want something easygoing. That when I meant chill out, that's what I meant, and that's why this show really appealed to me at that period of time when I found it, because that's what I was in the mood for. Something that was just that was slow like this, and was really character driven, and it really spoke to me in the end.
I also think this just goes to like people have different tastes in anime.
Oh yeah.
And
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I loved 86, and that was what I would say for this, is if I want to decompress and just fully calm down, chill out. But 86 is like
As good as 86 is, that's not a chill out. That's oh shit to me. It's like oh shit. Like, see we have a different definition of what chill out on an anime means then too. Now
I have a good chill out anime, but I'm not going to reveal its name for now until something matching it's a title description comes up. For now, mum's the word.
I guess
no. Tell us. If you're going to participate in the conversation, tell us.
I guess Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon might.
Well, if you're going to be a pain in the ass about it, Adam.
I am. Tell us.
Have you met Adam?
I can sum it up in one name: Snow White with red hair.
Oh, that's it. That is the that is one of the most chill, one of the most. That's a great anime, and I need to one day go read the manga because they're never going to make a season 3. They're not going to do that. I have to go back and finish the anime. That is an anime of just happy people trying to be happy, and that's a great anime. But it's honestly, first time I watched it, fine. Second time I watched it, I was falling asleep. As much as I liked it, I did fall asleep watching it.
Wait, it's actually named Snow White with red hair.
Red hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's a good one. No,
it's a fantastic one.
How dare you? How dare you connect anything I'm talking about to that abomination of a show? Fucking agenda-driven piece of shit. Steven Universe, it's what's wrong with American animation. Right there. That is what's wrong with American animation. Anybody who likes it, I'm sorry if you like it, but it's absolute dog shit.
I will say this: the animation was shit. I did enjoy first couple seasons, and then
agenda driven though. The animation, it's agenda driven.
I hated the animation style. I thought the story was compelling and interesting, and then they just started not delivering on anything.
Gay.
Everybody ended up being gay. I'm like, why?
Yes. Even
why?
I know that. But
you had some interesting stories. There was the gay couple, like the main gay couple. I was like, hey, I'm fine with these guys. I just hate the animation. Oh, but everybody else is gay. Well, why?
It's because
you had this cool thing of, hey,
that's the problem with Cartoon Network now, because they don't care anymore.
Oh,
they stopped caring a long time ago. Anyway, that's why
these days I pretty much wouldn't touch Cartoon Network with a 10.5-foot pole.
Yeah, what's the point? Well,
we're getting sidetracked.
But that's because we're near the end of the show. Obviously, we've sidetracked. We're done. We're winding.
I would say this as far as Chihayafuru is concerned. As I said, my biggest problem with it was the pacing. The orange and up part. I'm sorry. Did they really have to make it that long? They could have perhaps condensed it a little bit.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna. That's why I said you need to go against even my rule of 4 to 6 to get into something. It's a tough nut to crack, but once you get by, and I'm gonna say this: if you get into season 2 where it picks up and the stories and the character stories get more complex into 2 and 3, it really picks up in terms of the character developments. And if you're into that kind of stuff, it'll take you forward. But again, I think we made it clear that when it comes to what we consider relaxing and also taste. And that is, we were talking about this earlier. We're not all going to have the same taste. That's why we can have interesting discussions like this. We're not going to have the same tastes. I can guarantee it. And we're not going to like everything that one person. I mean, right now, I'm afraid when I turn this over to Anime Man for next month. I'm afraid. I don't know what he's going to pick.
He picks Ghost Stories once, and you're like, God.
Well, he picked Ghost Stories, and the previous one he picked, I'm like, what the fuck is this? That other one.
Well, you didn't listen to the music of Angel Beats. Angel Beats is safe.
It didn't matter. It was still It was still, what the fuck is this?
You have to be very careful with me, Adam. You never know what I'm gonna come up with.
You need a lozenge. No, so yeah, we never know what either one is coming. I mean, I have my tag picked out. I'll tell them after the show, and I'm hoping that it'll be something I've either seen or can get through. You never know, but we're gonna find out. But that's the point. We can have interest. We're not all like this. I guarantee the day one of you picks. Well, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to put it out there yet. But picks a couple animes right off the top of my head. I'm going to go, because there are a lot of mainstream, super popular animes that I hate, that I've seen over the years. And we're going back to like pillar, what are considered pillar anime, foundational anime for the series.
I'm not a huge fan of One Piece. I have respect for it, but I'm not a fan.
Oh, well, the One Piece is never going to be on it because it's One Piece. We can't have a discussion about One Piece. There's too much. I mean, if we do it, it would just be me and Jose talking for an hour because Jose has seen it all like I have, where he was catching up last time. Point is, you don't force One Piece on anybody. You have a discussion about One Piece with people who like One Piece. That's one of those things. But we like different things, and that's why we can all work this out. I knew when I put this out there, it was going to be 50-50 that you guys were on board. Dermy, not really on board. Anime Man, a little bit more. But, I mean, Anime Man, are you willing to go into season 2 on this one? There's my answer.
My answer is maybe.
No.
I'm a little iffy on it because, well, there were times in the series where I really got bored with it, so much so that I had to switch over to, say, watching Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers absolutely destroy each other in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, again, I knew this was going to be a rough one, and that I was going to be, with just the three of us here, I was probably going to be on the defensive. And I've been on the defensive most of the time. I've tried to make my case, and I hope those watching this have heard my positive input on this and are willing, if you didn't watch it for this month, are willing to go give it a try and keep going with it. Because I can say, going all the way to the end, to the final chapter of the manga, it's a satisfying ending. It's a satisfying whole. And if they ever make a season 4 and release this Alts collection, I would put this on my shelf. Because this is something that I could turn on, and it would be a relaxing background thing to have on. It'd be something I could put on while I'm doing something else, and it would be a friend in the room. Because I know it's not going to let me down. It's going to deliver on good characters, solid story, good relationships, and meaningful moments. And that's what nails it for me, meaningful moments. And even the particular theme that this anime has when they successfully do something, for weeks after I first saw it, it was in my head. That's how I know it also landed with me. It doesn't have a ton of crazy music to it, but that victorious theme when they win something stuck with me. That's how I know, for me, it clicked. Now, it didn't click for everybody, and that's just fine. We're not here to be a hive mind. With that said, we're going to bring this to a close. So, I recommend it. Dermy does not. Anime Man basically doesn't.
If you want to watch it, watch it. It just was not.
Well, you wouldn't recommend, as it's not to your taste, and therefore you would not recommend this. You wouldn't recommend this, would you?
And I'm most definitely meh on this one.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And I will destroy you too in another way, shape, or form later for disagreeing with me. But all right, no, in all seriousness, no, it's fine.
Right.
JB, if you're still in chat, pump that back taco.
I recommend this if you like a kickback, a combination of slice of life, romance, competitive stuff with a lot of Japanese culture really wrapped up into it, and with a satisfying bunch of characters whose relationships grow and connect and have meaning to it. And if you want something that's not going to just be offensive, because that's one of the things I like about the show, it's not an offensive show. And also, Anime Man did agree with this. The artwork is beautiful. The animation is beautiful. Great artwork.
Oh, I can agree with that.
I like pretty people anime. I just do. All right. With that said, bring it to an end. We thank you guys for showing up. We will be back on May 31st, not May 24th, because May 24th bumps up again, up against the big Star Wars Day celebration stream in May, and I didn't want to do 2 back-to-back streams like that. But so we'll be back on May 31st. 7:30 p.m. with a show TBA. We'll let you guys probably know what it is within the next week. So if you would like to keep up with what we're watching, you can get a start on it if it has some length to it, ladies. All right. So I want to thank both Dermy and Anime Man for being here. And with that being said, anybody want to say anything else before we go away? Dermy.
My stream for this Friday had to be canceled due to work, but I think I've already said that. So.
Anyway, man.
Me? The 30th of this month, the next chapter of Clanless comes out. Vistoth and Starburst Company interrogate their prisoner and discover the influence of the mysterious Utopia Society. as the battle to retake Arctica 7 continues in Clanless. Also, I'm pleased to announce that very soon I am going to be putting up my report from SakuraCon 2023, which I attended I attended earlier this month. I'll be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of SakuraCon.
All right, excellent. All right, then we'll check everybody out. Links are all in the description below, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, on the replay, because this will be privated in the next 12 hours. If you had a good time, please hit that like button. If you found us, check out our channel, subscribe, and leave comments. And we will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.
Be seeing you.